Hello everyone. Now we shall understand how histogram gets constructed when the class intervals are unequal. Have a look at this numerical example where marks obtained and number of students are given. Marks obtained in class intervals which are unequal. Let us go step by step. Step 1 is you need to select variables for x and y axis. Value of the variables, that is marks obtained, will be on x axis. Dependent variable, that is number of students, on y axis. Dependent variable, that is number of students, is depicted as height of the rectangle drawn vertically upwards on x axis for each variable value. Then you need to have adjustment for the class intervals. Let's understand how is it done. AF is adjustment factor, which is class width divided by lowest class width. Here lowest class width is 5. So frequency of all class intervals are to be divided by AF to get adjusted frequencies mark distribution with adjusted frequencies as shown in the next table. See, marks obtained are 0 to 5, number of students 5 as is given. Adjustment is class width divided by lowest class width. Class width is 5, lowest class width is also 5. So it is 5 by 5, 1. Then adjusted number of students, that is adjusted frequency, would be 5 divided by 1, which is 5. Second case, class interval is 5 to 15. Number of students are 8. Now the difference between lowest and highest class interval is 10. So it is 10 divided by 5, which is the lowest class width. Then it is 2, and frequency 8 is to be divided by 2. Adjusted number of students would be 4. Third class interval is 15 to 20, where the difference between lower and higher limit is 5. Students frequency is 10. So adjustment is 5 by 5, 1. That will be 10 divided by 1. It is 10. Next case, class interval is 20 to 25. Number of students 5. So this is also 5 by 5 by 1. 5 divided by 1, it is 5. Last case, it is 25 to 40. This is the class difference of 15. Frequency or number of students is 12. So adjustment is 15 divided by 5, which is 3. So adjusted number of students or adjusted frequency would be 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So next step is you need to select the scales of both the axes. It should be selected in such a manner that the values of the variables to be represented on that axis are covered within the axis length of 5 to 7 centimeters. For x, the scale is, say 5 marks are represented by 10 mm point A as is depicted here on x-axis. So the scale would be 10 mm is equal to 5 marks. Then select y-axis scale. Here 5 students are represented by 10 mm point, which is A dash, on the y-axis of the graph. So y-axis scale is 10 mm is equal to 5 students. Further, let's decide about the length of x-axis. One needs to know the number of bars that needs to be shown here. So the sum of all bars width for each class interval plus margin on the left side of the first bar and margin on the right side of the last bar in mm. Let's assume a reasonable width of the bar, which is 10 mm for class interval of 5, 20 mm for class interval of 10. So total width of bars for all the class intervals would be 10 plus 20 plus 10 plus 10 plus 30, which will be 80 millimeters. Left side margin would be 0 because the first class interval is 0 to 5. Right side margin would be 10 mm. So length of x-axis would be total bar width plus left side margin plus right side margin, which is 80 plus 0 plus 10, 90 millimeters, which is 9 centimeters. So length of x-axis would be 9 centimeters, as is shown here on the graph paper. Now, length of y-axis, maximum number of students is 10, margin for students is 5. So highest scale marking will be 10 plus 5, which is 15. Y-axis scale would be 10 students represented by 10 mm on y-axis. Length of y-axis would be scale of workers in millimeters divided by number of scale workers into maximum workers, which is 10 divided by 5 into 15, 30 mm. So margin for upper end of y-axis 10 mm. Total length is 30 plus 10, 40 or 4 centimeters. So length of y-axis would be 4 centimeters as is depicted here. Next is take a graph paper, select a point O near the left side of the graph paper at such a location that both x and y-axis can be accommodated. Draw a line OX 9 centimeters long. Draw a line along y-axis, which is 4 centimeter long. Then mark the variables on x-axis. We have already taken the scale as 10 mm is 5 marks. Starting from point O, mark 5 at 10 mm and 10 at 20 mm and so on. Likewise, mark up to 45 on x-axis as maximum marks obtained are 40. Similarly, for y-axis, it is the number of students. Scale we have decided as 10 mm is 5 number of students. Starting from 0, mark 5 at 10 mm point, which is A dash, and point 10 at 20 mm. Likewise, mark up to 15 on y-axis as maximum number of students are 10, as is depicted here on the graph paper. Now that axes have been prepared, now you need to plot the adjusted frequency distribution, that is histogram. First data point is between 0 to 5, number of students are 5. So from point O, first move to marks obtained, point A dash on x-axis. Draw a vertical line to meet the horizontal graph line from C, 5 students, at point B. Rectangle OABC represents the first data 0 to 5 and 5 students. Similarly, draw other data points to get frequency distribution graph, that is histogram, and you will find that width of each bar is different. And that is how histogram with unequal class intervals gets constructed. I hope you have understood all these points. It comprises of selecting variables first, then you need to adjust the frequency, then you need to select scale, then select the length of the axis, then mark dependent independent variables, then plot adjusted frequency graph, that will be histogram with unequal class intervals. With this, the discussion on construction of histogram with unequal class intervals gets complete. Next time, we shall discuss construction of histogram when only midpoints are given. Till then, keep practicing. Thank you. To learn more, visit our website and enroll in our courses to master economics and get a higher score in CBSE and CUET examination. With our current introductory offer, you can enroll in each of the courses for just Rs 999. So, seize the opportunity and join before the introductory offer expires. Like, share and subscribe to ECOSTUDYS channel. Also, drop a comment. See you in the next session for another concept. Thank you.